Okay, let me take a new file, that is the old one. Right, so first thing, I need you to show how a print, how we are going to print a particular Word document when we are done with the documenting part, right? So for that, I'll take some notes, or like I'll take some content. In this time, it's better I take things from your textbook. Oh, not that one, I'm sorry. Let's take this. Yeah, I'll copy this content. Yep, and I'm going to increase the font size and justify it. Yeah, so let's assume this is the content that we have typed, and we need to take a printout from the document that we managed to set up. The place we have to go is inside the File tab. There is a facility called Print, and now this is going to be different in the previous versions. Like if you think about the 2007. It has this very nice Office button, which is a golden color circle, and inside it the Office package icon is there. So once you click on that, you will be having this kind of a menu, and then you can choose print right over there, right? And as I remember, in 2007 version, there was two commands like print and print preview, right? Let me surf it in the internet. Yes. Yeah. Yes, people. Now this is a kind of this is a kind of menu that you receive when you are working with 2007, right? This is the Office button that I told you. Once I click on that, you will be having this kind of a menu, and under it, under the print command, they have print, quick print, and print preview, right? That is 2007. And when it comes to the 2019, I don't have a particular thing called print preview. Once I click on this print, it will give me a print preview, right? So this print preview will show you how your content is going to be printed on the paper, right? As well as in your left-hand side, they are showing you a particular printer settings, right? So at the top of this, at the top of this window, there's a print button. So once we click on that, the printer that is being listed over here, or selected over here, will start printing, right? So before you press this button, you have to adjust these settings if you really want that, right? So by default, the printing screen is ready to print a one particular copy from the given document. So if we need to increase the number of copies, we can increase it from this, right? So once we increase, there will be set of printouts. That means like now there will be 7 sets of the same copy of the same document, right? So you can have, right? So otherwise you can go for the default one if it is only one printout that you need. And here you are given a list of printers. Once I click on that, you can see the different kinds of printers which is being installed into your computer, right? If no printer has been installed, still you are getting this list, but not with the actual printers, right? Now this Adobe PDF Ready, it is a way that you can convert your Word document into a PDF document, right? As well as this Microsoft Print to PDF and XPS document writer, OneNote for Windows 10, those kind of things are like uh, not an actual printer, but it allows us to convert this Word document into a different kinds of formats. Now, in my computer, I have installed two different printers, which is a Brother DCP L2540DW kind of thing. So, in simple words, it's a Brother printer, right? In Brother brand. And I have another printer, which is the Canon brand, right? So, for Canon printer, they have installed three options in my list, right? So this copy one, copy two will specify what is the tray that I need to print, because when it comes to a printer, there are several different trays. Now, when you visit to take a photocopy, you can see that in the photocopy machine, they used to like load the papers into different kinds of trays. සමහර ඒවා යටින් ඇදලා papers දාලා load කරනවා. සමහර අය පැත්තෙන් papers load කරනවා. So those are called trays, right? So normally a printer has one particular tray anyway, and when it comes to the advanced printers, there are 2-3 ways that you can insert a paper, right? Or you can load the papers, right? So here in my Canon printer, I got 2 trays, which is from the front and from the back, right? So I can specify what is the tray that I'm going to use, or I can just specify you use a tray where you got papers, right? And it will print as it is, right? So it is the way that we can choose the printer, and from these printer properties, once we click on that, it will open the printer properties, right? Printer properties means the settings of the printer. The මෙතන අපි set up කරන්නේ, it is the settings of the document. Here, like more advanced settings is here, right? So here we are directly access to the printer. දැන් මේ මම access කරලා තියෙන brother printer එකේ තියෙන දේවල් වලට. ඒතර මට මෙතනින් like I can change the resolutions, the media type, whether it's a plain paper or a photo paper or kind of things, paper sizes. Some of the options are available here, but not all. Right now, if you think about the resolution, we don't have any option right over here at this left panel to change the resolution. So resolution will like determine the quality of the printout, right? So resolution is given by DPI, which stands for dots per inch, right? Angalakata print with a dots gun, right? Now, if the number of dots are being increased, so that means quality is increased. If it is decreased, so the quality will be decreased. And the other hand, our ink will be saved. Print with a dots gun adu nama, කියන්නේ ink එක අඩු වෙනවා. ink පාවිච්චි කරන ප්‍රමාණය අඩු වෙනවා, right? When DPI is higher, so it will use more ink to print a printout. And again, we can see it's a very quality printout, right? And you can choose how many pages are going to be printed over here, and as well as from here, those can be done, right? And when it comes to the advanced, we can change some of the things, like we can zoom out the document, or we can zoom in. We can do many different things, and you really don't need to know about these things because it is not in your syllabus about the printer properties. What you have to know is Like through these printer properties, we have the ability to change the printer settings, right? And at the below, it has first, it has like how many pages that we are going to print. So by default, it is taking that like print all pages, the whole thing, right? So like if your document got 100 pages, all 100 pages will be selected to be printed. Or else you can choose you can say print the current page. So whatever the page that you can see over here at your right hand side will be printed, right? Or else you can say you can custom the print, right? So custom means you can specify what are the pages that you are going to print. So when you are specifying, you can give the page numbers like by putting the comma, like assume that you need to print the first page, third page, and the fifth page. So you can say 1, 3, 5th, right? Likewise. Or else, if you want to, if it is a 100-page document, if you want pages from 1 to 10, so you can put like 1-10. So it will define, print it from 1 to 10, right? And if you want to print like the pages from 1 to 10 and again pages from 35 to 45, then you can use 1-10, then comma, and then you can say 35-45, right? So it will print accordingly, right? So likewise, you can define what are the pages that is going to get print, right? And yeah, as the next selection, if your printer permits you to print two-side printouts, right? Two sides print කරගන්න පුළුවන් print එකට කියනවා duplex print එකක් කියලා. So if your printer is able to do the duplex printing, then Word will enable this print on both sides option, right? If you don't have print on both side option, most probably the last option will be there, manually print on both sides. In some cases, this particular option is not also there. So we have to plan the particular thing and do the two-side printing, right? But if your printer got the facility of duplex printing, so then definitely your Word document will list this out, right? So like for Word to understand this printer is capable of printing both sides, first we have to install the drivers of the printer, right? What are the drivers of the printer? When we are purchasing the printer, inside the box, you can find a particular CD which is used to install the drivers for the printer. So first you have to insert that CD and run the setup inside that CD. Then the details and the particular software regarding a printer will be installed. So once it is been installed into your computer, then the programs will be informed by the operating system. Now you got this printer which has the capabilities of this and this, right? So then the programs can understand, okay, this particular printer is connected with this computer, so we can do the printing on this manner, right? So now, since my printer has the ability of printing the document in both the sides, right? So it is enable the duplex printing for me, right? So for that, what I have to do is, now by default it says print on one side. One side කියන්නේ එක පැත්තක print වෙනවා. ඒතර පිටු 10ක් තිබ්බොත් අපිට කොළ 10ක් යනවා print out එක ගන්න if we print on one side option. But if you go with print both sides, so if you got 10 pages, we need only 5 sheets to get print. And when you are printing the printing on both sides, it is asking how you are going to print it. Like printing on the long edge, you can see the word right over here. Let me show it with the with the magnifier, right? You can see flip pages on long edge and there is something called flip pages on short edge, right? And from the icons, you can have an idea. Now, flip pages on long edge means you are printing the document in both the pages. In a way, you are going to turn a very normal book. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ textbook එක ගත්තොත් ඒකේ print කරලා තියෙනවනේ කොලේ දෙපැත්තෙම. ඒතකොට ඒක print කරලා තියෙන්නේ long edge කියන mod එකකින්. right? එහෙම වුණාම තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ පොත පෙරලන විදිහට පිටුව පෙරලන්න පුළුවන්කම ලැබෙන්නේ. මොකද පිටුවක් අරගෙන ඒ කියන්නේ එක කොලයක් අරගෙන එයාගේ ඉස්සරහ පැත්තයි පිටිපස්සයි කම්පෙයාර් කරලා බැලුවොත් content එක තියෙන්නේ එකක විරුද්ධ පැත්තට තමයි අනිත් එක. right? so එහෙම තිබ්බම තමයි අර පොතක කොලයක් පෙරලනවා වගේ අපිට යාව කියව ගන්න පුළුවන්. right? දැන් මේ කොලේ වමේ ඉඳලා දකුණට තිබිලා එහා පැත්තේ කොලෙත් මේ විදිහටම තිබ්බොත් අපිට කියව ගන්න බැරි වෙනවා. එතකොට පොතක් විදිහට බයින්ඩ් කරාම ඒක පෙරළුවම නිකන් අනිත් අකුරු ටික තියෙන්නේ අනිත් පැත්ත දකුණු පැත්තේ ඉඳලා පටන් ගන්න. right? ඒකට ඒක අපහසු වෙනවා වැඩේ කරගන්න. right? but when we use this option, which is flip pages on long edge, then you will be able to bind the book and turn it as a normal book, and we can read those things, right? Like flip on the short edge means අපි මෙයාව උඩට පෙරලන්නේ. සාමාන්‍ය පොතක නම් we are turning the pages to our left or to our right නේ. So if it is the short edge, if it is in the short edge printing, we are planning to turn the pages from top to bottom or from bottom to top, right? So as the picture shows, right? So if it is going to be like that, you have to choose either bind මේ වගේ book එකක් bind කරන්නේ උඩින් මේ top margin එකෙන්, long edge book එක bind කරන්නේ left margin එකෙන්, right? So likewise you can choose what kind of a printing that you are going to do, right? Okay, then the next one is collected. Now collected is there for you to help when you are printing out more than one copy. Document is being printed out as more than one particular copy. You can say how the copies are going to be printed. Right? Now collected means you are going to collect the printouts book by book. පොතෙන් පොත. කියන්නේ පිටු 20ක් තියෙනවා නම් මුලින්ම එක සැරේ පිටු 20ක් print කරනවා. එයා ඉවරනයින් පස්සේ තමයි දෙවෙනි පිටු 20. එයා ඉවරනයින් පස්සේ තමයි තුන්වෙනි පිටු 20. කියන්නේ එකම document එක book එකෙන් book එක තමයි sets විදිහට එයා print කරන්නේ. If you choose uncollected, if you say okay print 3 copies, so first the copies of the first page will be printed. කියන්නේ first 2 pages දෙක නැත්නම් first page එකෙන් 3ක් print out එනවා. ඊට පස්සේ second page එකෙන් print outs තුන. ඊට පස්සේ third එකෙන් print outs තුන. fourth එකෙන් print outs තුන. So likewise then after we have to make the books, right? So it needs sometimes, right? So you have to go on that particular way, right? දැන් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපි printing වලදී අපි පාවිච්චි කරන mod එක තමයි collected කියන mod එක, right? Because we need when we are printing it, like we use it as one particular set, so it's better we receive it by set, right? Then now you assume about a communication, right? Inside a communication, if it is coming in an uncollected manner, they have to waste their time to make the book again. පොතේ පිටු ටික හදාගන්නත් වෙනම time එකක් ගන්න වෙනවා. So using the collected option, Word will do that particular task on behalf of the printer, right? So he or she only need to take the set and stapler it as it is and send it away, right? And from here we can change the portrait orientation, landscape orientation. That means like you can change how the printing is happening onto your landscape manner or in the portrait manner. We talk about this thing about the page layout as well. And as well as we can change the page type or the sheet type or the paper size, right? So there are A4, letter, legal, there are many types. And as I told you, these sizes will determine by the printer, right? Now, if your printer has the ability of printing A3 papers, you will be given the chance, or like you will be given the details that you are able to print A3 size, right? Like A3 size means, right? So when A4 papers, two A4 papers are like fixed together, you can find the A3 size. Four A4 papers are fixed together, you can find the A2 size, right? Likewise, if you when your number of the number with the A is being decreased, your paper size is going to be bigger. A0 tamai loku mekkena, right? So A1, A2, A3 and A4. A4 tamai api godak welawata pawichchi karana size එක, right? So likewise, you can change the paper size as well, and you can change the margins as well, right? Uh, this was there in the page layout as well. So the same thing happens here. You can choose different types of margins, or you can just adjust the margin as you want, right? And again, from here, we can say like how many pages that we are going to use for a particular on a particular sheet, right? So normally it is one page of our soft copy will be printed onto the one page of the document, or like the on a one sheet. අපේ document එකේ පේන තියෙන එක page එක sheet එකක් උඩට print කරන්න පුළුවන්, right? But sometimes we need to have like 2 pages per sheet. So that means අපේ print වෙලා එනකොට අපේ soft copy එකේ තියෙන pages දෙකක් hard copy එකේ එක page එකක් උඩට print වෙනවා, right? I'll show you it by taking some document over here. Hold on, let me copy this for several times, then we can have several pages. Right, and yeah, and now we got 3 pages, right? So now if I go to the file and print, and if I say 2 pages per sheet, right? You can see the yeah, it still shows us, yeah, it is not previewing us, but it happens when the printing is going on, right? Method preview එකට එයා පෙන්නන්නේ preview එකේ පෙන්නන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය printing method එක කියන්නේ තියෙන පිටු ගාන. But when it comes to the printing part, it will show you, it will give you a printout like this now, as this icon shows, right? අපේ soft copy එකේ තියෙන එක page එකක් hard copy එකේ page එකකට එනකොට මේ තියෙන්නේ අපේ printer එකෙන් output කරන page එකේ විදිය. So it contains 2 pages of our document, right? So it's the same A4 page එකට අපිට ඒ වගේ ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඒතර අකුරු size එක පොඩි වෙනවා, margins අඩු වෙනවා, right? කියන්නේ අපේ A4 sheet එකට අපිට plan කරලා we can say okay, print 2 pages per A4 sheet. So actually it's A5 type එකෙන් තමයි ඒ කට්ටියව print වෙන්නේ, right? So that is how the printing is done with the word processing software, right? People, is that clear? Yes, that's a good question, Inupama. Now, when you need to print a black, like when you have a color page setup, if you want to take a black and white printout, there are two ways that you can do this. Like if your printer is support only for black and white printouts, so you don't need to worry, right? There are two types of printers. One type is called monochrome printers. Monochrome means black and white tamaya print කරන්නේ. කියන්නේ එක color එකයි. Monochrome කියලා කියන්නේ only one color කියන එක. So black වලින් තමයි print කරන්නේ. Those are monochrome printers. So you don't need to worry. Like from monochrome printer, like any type of a document will be printed out as a black and white document. And when it comes to the colored printout, a colored printer, so you can set up a colored soft copy and you can ask them to print a black and white one. When you are doing that, you don't have the option to manage the thing from here. You can do it from printer properties. So once you go to the printer properties, now my brother printer is a monochrome one. Let me choose the Canon one. So this is a color printer. So if I go to the printer properties, see right over here, I got this paper and quality, so I can choose what to be print, color or black and white. Now if I put black and white and say okay, so the printer is not going to use the colors when it is being printed. It will print the black color only when it is getting printed. Inugama, is that clear? Yeah, right. Good that you asked that. Right. Okay. So I hope you have a good idea about printing, right? Let's quickly move to the mail merge, right? So we can end up the our nice session regarding the word processing software, right? Okay. So now to do the mail merge, I'm going to take a new document, right? Okay, now I'll tell you first why we need mail merge. Now you can find the mail merge facility under the mailing tab of the word processing software, right? So why we need mail merge, something like mail merge. What is mail merge? Now mail merge means, think about a situation like this. Now your school got a parents meeting and your school need to inform that particular parents meeting to your parents, right? So send in a letter. So that letter will contain some content, why this parent meeting is there, when it is happening, and the other details regarding that, right? And then since it is a letter, an official letter, they have to address that particular letter to the parents, right? So the parents' detail should be contained in the school regarding each and every student. So when they are composing the letter, what they are trying to do is they just type the name and the address of that particular parent, and they use the greeting line and they type the letter and then say thank you, and the signature will be there, right? So on such occasions, this letter may contain the very similar body to all the letters, right? Let's assume there are 100 students in the school. So like all the 100 letters will contain the same thing as the body. Description එක එකම වෙන්න පුළුවන්. But addresses will be changed from letter to letter, right? And these kind of scenarios will be there in an organization like repeatedly, right? Then if you think about the school situation, there can be parent meetings like per term. So if you take a year, there should be 3 parent meetings per year, right? So if you consider an year, if a letter is sent in to the parents regarding to inform about the parents meeting, the one who is composing or one who is editing this particular document or this letter, typing this letter, need to type the same thing again and again, right? So like as an example, if we are sending uh, to a student, to a parent called Saman Tilakaratna, so the father Saman Tilakaratna will receive a letter at the end of the first term which is addressed to him, and the content will be there which is common to everyone. And at the end of the second term he will receive another letter again with some content which is common to everyone and addressed to him, right? So that means the same address is being used 3 times per year, right? මේ scenario එක ගත්තොත්. එතකොට දැන් මේක like just think about a one particular scenario. ළමයි 100 දෙනෙකුට අපි යවනවා letter එකක්. So the letter content is same but address need to be changed, right? So only the address which is going to be changed or some few particular fields. So if we are going to do it manually, what is the way that we can do? Like if I copy a letter, I took some letter format over here, the previous class. Right now, if you think about that, this is the letter that you need to send. So I'll change the, let's say this is for Saman Tilakaratne. So let's say Saman Tilakaratne, and let's say number 23, let's say Kotta, right? So the greetings will be there, right? So this will be one particular letter. So if you need to send it to Nimal someone, so you have to take it again, and since it is a letter, we are going for a new page, and we have to paste it, and we have to say Nimal, let's say Vitanage, right, and some number, and this is Homaga. Right, so likewise, if you got 100 recipients, you have to do this for 100 times. So content won't change, right? But this, some particular details, some small particular details are going to change, right? I'm not saying all the document types are going to be like this, but there are several documents like the letters which has this behavior, right? So this is something very teasing for a person who is doing this. Make a current clerk, he has to do this at the end of each term. So if parent meetings are there under the each term, so he have to like edit all these 100 letters at the end of each term always, which is something teasing, right? So Word provides the mail merge facility to avoid this particular thing, right? So it gives you a way to do this with the minimal effort, right? So now let's see how we are going to do this with the minimal effort, right? So this is the way it's going to be. Okay, now first of all, if we want to start the mail merge scenario, first thing we have to select what kind of a document that we are going to prepare. So as I told you, mail merge is not set for all type of documents. So there are several documents like letters, email messages, envelopes, labels, some directories, right? Or you can take a normal Word document and type the way that you want, but still it should be something matchable to the situation, right? Now here I'm taking the letter format, right? So I'm going to type a letter. So once I'm done that, there is this next command called select recipients. Now now you can recognize all these buttons over here are inactive for the moment. I can click on those, but it won't send me anything, right? It's staying as a inactive commands. Now, under the recipient, selecting the recipients, now this is the crucial point of the mail merge. This recipients will indicate who are the people that's going to receive this particular letter, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to store the details of the recipients in a list which can hold the details about the recipients, right? And we are going to save it as a separate list, and we can use that list whenever we want, right? So only thing, we have to refer that list. So for the very first time, we need to create that list, right? Then we can reuse it as much as we want. එතකොට අර ක්ලාක්ට තිබ්බ teasing procedure එක එයා එක සැරේයි කරන්න ඕන. මුළු ඉස්කෝලේම ඉන්න ළමයින්ගේ මේ recipients වලට recipient address and the people of the recipients need to get inserted into this list once and for all. Then that particular person will be able to reuse it again and again in a similar situations, right? So first I'll show you, there are three ways that we can use it. We can type a new list that is happening for the very first time, right? According to our task. And we can use an existing list. So like if we have create a particular contact list already, then we can use that. Or else you can choose the contacts from the Outlook, right? So choosing the contacts from the Outlook, like you are choosing the contact details from a phone book, or like from the contact list of your mobile phone, of your parents' mobile phone. Now, once you open the parents' contact list, you can see there are several kinds of contacts. So in modern days, phones are able to store the contact number, the name, the address, the birthdays, the emails. There are various kind of fields are there. So if you are saving those details into a Outlook contacts is a contact saving facility which is given by the Microsoft with the Microsoft Office package, right? So if you got that type of contact list, even you can use that as well. Right now, here we are not going to talk about this Outlook contacts, right? Which is which may take time for us to build it and use it. So we are using type a new list command as well as use an existing list. First, I'll show you how to take the context using existing list. Now, existing list means we are the people who have made this earlier. Now it is there in our computer, so we are just using it, right? So once I click on use an existing list, you can see these inactive labels will get activated. Right here, I'm pressing that, use an existing list. So it is asking me to choose a particular list. So I have two particular lists, grade 10 singular guest list and guest list. Now, for the moment, I will take this guest list, right? So I select it and I click on the open button. So these things are being enabled, some of those. Right? Is that clear, people, up to this point? People, please confirm. Is it clear? Yes, how about others? Right, okay. Right, great, good. Right. Now, since we have take the recipient list, if we want to edit that recipient list, this is the one which is helping us, edit recipient list. Now, this is there to take the recipient lists. and this is there to edit what we have taken. So once we click on that, once we click on the edit recipient list, it will give us something like this. Now what is this? This is the list that I have created already. So my list contains some fields like this data source, and the check mark is there to indicate what is the list name and whether they are available or not. So from this point onwards, from the first name field to your right is the one that I'm maintaining inside my guest list. So inside my guest list, there is a first name column, there is the title column, there is the city column, and there is num, the column called num, right? So these are the things that I have saved in my guest list, right? Later, I'm going to use those as I want. And if you want to edit this particular list, you can find the list name right over here under the data source box, the guest list MDB. So once you click on that, this edit button and refresh button will be activated. So if you click on edit, you will be given a particular window to edit the table. And before that, if you want to delete a particular list, still you have to go for the edition. Without going to the edit one, you won't be able to delete anything. So once you click on the edit, here you are having your particular table where you can apply the details or insert the details regarding these fields. Now this new entry button is there to insert a new entry into this. So you can see there are 6 entries. If I want to insert a new entry, if I click on this, the last entry will be enabled. So I can say miss, and now according to my table, then I'm asked for the city. So I'll tell Piliandala, and the name I'll give Susan. Then the number I'll say 97, right? So these are some fields regarding an address and a name, right? So likewise, I can apply the new records into my guest list or the list that I'm maintaining. If you want to delete something, all you have to do is just select the row, right? Just by selecting on a cell, won't select the row. It's better you select on this arrowhead right over here, right? And then you have to press delete entry to delete that particular record. So now I have chose this Miss Maharagama Kamani 45 record. So I'm going to press the delete entry. So you will notice now this entry is going to delete. Once I click delete, it says delete this entry. So it is asking our permission to delete that, because once it is been deleted, there is no way you can take it again, right? So it is deleted, right? There is a way that you can take it, but it's an indirect manner, right? So if I say yes, so it will be deleted, right? So I got now only 5 entries, right? Then if you want to find something, you can find it using the find button. Now if our list is very big, if you want to check whether some particular people or one particular person is in here in the list, so you can type here. Now if let's say I need to find Suresh is right over here in the 3rd line, but let's say he's there somewhere in inside where we have 100 recipients. So I just type Suresh, and there are 2 options: all fields, look in all fields, or look in this particular field. That means like if you choose this particular field, you can limit the searching for a particular column, right? But if you don't know where the data is actually, you can say select all fields, right? So look in all fields. So if I say find next, so it will say, it will highlight the place where you can find, right? So likewise, if you want to find Colombo, it will highlight the place where you can find Colombo, right? And in case if they don't have what you are asking to search, so if once, like I don't have a word called column, right? COLOMB, right? So if I press find, they say there are no more entries that contain text. You type find next to see the same entry again. Now when I'm having a part of this, like C, let's say I had COLO first. Hold on, I'll select this, then I click find. So I'm asking to find COLO. If I click find next, it will indicate me Colombo because COLO is there in the Colombo, right? So then if I say find next, then they say, okay, searching is done. There is no more places that we can show you. And if I tell something completely different now, this doesn't have the city Maharagama, right? If I say Maharagama and ask them to find it, then it says no entries contain the text you type, right? So it clearly says we can't find the thing that you have typed because it is not inside the list, right? So likewise, we can choose the find, we can use the find button to do the finding thing, right? And if you want to change the structure of this table, changing the structure means what? If you want to change the order how these things are there, or if you want to change, if you want to remove a particular column, or if you want to add a particular column, right? You can do it by pressing the customize column button, right? So once you press the customize column button, if you have done any changes before that, they will ask your confirmation to apply those changes or not, right? So in this case, if you don't want the changes that you have done, you can simply press no. And if you want the changes that you need to do, you can press yes. So for the moment, I'll give no, right? So here it is given us the window to change the structure of my table. Yeah, now that's my daughter. Just excuse me. Sorry for that, people. So now if you want to change the structure of this table, now you can see my fields are given over here: title, city, first name, num, which is these things, right? And if you want to add a particular column, you can use this add button. Now how did I came here? By clicking on the customize column button. Once I click on that, it asks for the changes. I say don't change anything, so it show me the things which was there already. So if I want to add a column newly, I can press add button and I can insert what is the thing I want. So I need a column called date of birth. So I indicate it by DOB and press OK, right? So you can see the DOB is there in my list, and you can see the DOB is there in between title and city. If you want to change the place of the DOB, you can use this move up and move down buttons. Move down will take your particular field down to the list, and moving up will move it up, right? So that means you are deciding which column is to be your first column and which is going to be your second, and likewise. Right now I want the title first. I want the first name second. So I'll give the first name as the second field. Then the num as the third field, and city as the fourth field, and DOB as the last field. Now the way that things are existing for the moment is like title is the first one, city is the second one, first name is the third one, num is the fourth one. There is no DOB column over here. Now look closely what happened when I press OK, right? So I'm pressing OK. There it goes. Title comes first, first name comes second, num comes third, city comes fourth, and DOB comes fourth as the last. So if you want to type the details, you can click on the cells and type the details that you want, right? So then you can change the structure of the list or the this particular data source. And if you want to delete a particular column, again, where the place that you need to go is the customize columns. So it is asking whether we need to apply the changes. This time I'm saying yes, because I have to add a particular column to this. So I'll say yes. So then I'm going to delete what I have insert. I added a DOB column earlier, so I'm going to delete it now. So I click on the DOB and just say delete, right? So it will be asked for the confirmation. If I say yes, so it will be taken out. So rename is there, you know what's the purpose is, right? So if I want to rename this first name as F name, so I'm renaming it. So here it goes. So I'll edit it as F name and press it OK, right? So once I press OK, now my DOB column is going to go and first name column is going to be renamed as F name. Right, now you can see F name is over here and DOB is gone, right? And this little arrowhead is there, which will help you to sort the things in this list. A to Z arrange karaganna by the name, so you can do that. You can do it from any different column. So the data related to that particular column will be changed accordingly, right? එතකොට මේ එක column එකක් විතරක් නෙවෙයි වෙන්නේ. මම දැන් city එක sort කරන්න කිව්වොත් city එකේ උඩටම එන්න ඕනේ C Colombo තියෙන කෙනා. So with Colombo 54, Geet and Mr. will also taken to the same position, right? Now I'm pressing on the if I just press on the city column, it will automatically sort it. See, Colombo comes first. If I click it on the column header again, it will sort from Z to A. Likewise. And if you want to do the custom kind of sorting, we can use these options, right? So likewise, you can add a new entry, you can delete an entry, you can find something, and you can customize the columns. That means adding and deleting and renaming can be done. Now, for what we are doing these things? For the recipient list that we are going to use, right? Is this clear, people? Yes, everyone, please confirm. Right, if you got any questions, you can always ask, right? Doesn't matter which language that you are going to question. It doesn't matter whether it is from Sinhala or from English. Don't ask it from Tamil, I don't know, right? But any other means like Sinhala or English, I can manage, right? So if you got a question, you can ask always, right? All right, now once we've done the changes with this data source or the recipient list, we can press OK to confirm it. So it will ask the changes that you have done, shall we apply it to this data sets? Then we can say yes. So it will be applied, right? And I'm getting a question. Let me see. Right. Okay. All right. So now I can press OK to close this, or I can just close it over here. Right. So that is how we are editing the recipient list. So once we click, we get this. If we want to edit, we click on the guest list and press edit button. So we are getting this. If you want to add a new entry, we press this. If you want to delete an entry, we press this. And if we want to find something, we go with this. And if you want to customize the column, we click on this. Then we are getting another window. So according to that, we will add a column, we will delete a column, and we will rename a column, right? So far, I have told you this thing regarding a recipient list, which was existed in my computer, right? So now I'll show you how to create a new list. Now we use this option, use an existing list. And I'm going to type a new list now, right? So this is like the very first time that we are inserting the recipient details. Like I said, පළවෙනි සැරේ දැම්මම අපිට ඕන තරම් යාව පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් in several other occasions in the future, right? So I'm going to type a new list. So this is the way that is receiving to us, that particular window is receiving to us. So now you can see they have their predefined format. If you double click on this, you can expand the window, right? So you can see there are title, first name, last name, company name, address, address line 1, this is address line 2. Like you can change the width of the columns by moving your cursor in between the columns, so it will be change it cursor type into like this. So you can click and drag to change the column name, right? Like the column width, not the column name, actually the column width, right? So likewise, there are many things, right? So this has the first name, this has the last name, this has the company name, and most probably we don't need most of these, right? Sometimes we need something new of ours, or sometimes we need only few of these, right? It is according to your requirement. Now, how we are going to get rid of the unwanted columns? We know that you can customize the columns, right? Once you press the customize columns button, you will be given this kind of a window. So all you have to do is just click on the things that you don't want to keep, and you can delete those. Now, to my requirement today, I'll take out the title, so I delete it. And people, we can't delete by selecting like many together and pressing the delete button. We have to delete one by one, right? I'm keeping the first name, I'm keeping the last name, I'm deleting the company name, I don't need that. And I'm keeping the address line 1, right? I'll keep it over here, but I don't want the address line 2, so I delete it. And I'm keeping the city, I don't want state, and the rest of the things, right? So I'm deleting those. And as well as zip code, delete, yes. Country, region, delete, yes. Home phone, delete, yes. Work phone, delete, yes. And email address, delete, yes. And apart from these things, I want another column, a new column called student name. So I add that particular column by pressing the add, and I take it as S name to indicate the student name, and I press OK. So my S name is there at the end of that, right? End of the particular column list. Right now you can see I have only 5 different columns. Still I got a lot of columns over here. So once I press OK, so it will be reduced to this particular size. So if I expand this, first name is there, last name is there, address line 1 is there, city is there, and student name is there, right? Now what I need to do is I have to fill this out with the details that I have. So I'll quickly fill things. I can click on the first line, so it will give me the cursor. So I'm going to fill it out as quickly as I can. So the first one, Saman Tilakaratna, address line 1, I used to store the number and some city. And S name, now first name and last name, we'll consider it, it belongs to the parent. And student name, let's say Matisha is the first student name. So you can like move from one particular cell to another particular cell by pressing the tab key. And if you want to go to the next line, at the very end of the one particular row, if you press the tab key again, it will give you a second line. So I'll fill this soon as well. So Nihal Vijayanayaka, let's say number 45 is from Homagama, and here the student name is Nisha, right? And the third one, Lalani Guru Singha. Oh, sorry. And 56 is the number. Let's say this is from Piliandala. And the name of the student is Gihan. Right, then Sita Saparamadu, number 67, and Kasparov. Let's say the name of the student is Misha, right? Okay. Now we got, I'm only typing 4 details. Now, if there are 100 details, so you have to complete it up to the 100, right? So you got 4 entries over here, right? So then you can press OK, right? So when you press OK, since it is a new list, it will be ask you to save it. And by default, it is asking you to save it somewhere like inside the user folder, users folder, inside the user folder, documents, data, my data source, somewhere in deep. But you can save it anywhere you want, right? When you are using it again, you have to export it from the place that you want, right? But for the moment, I'll use it right over here, and I'm giving the name grade 10 English guest list, right? So then I save, right? So once I save it, if I go to the edit recipient list, you can see it is this particular one. It's missing the very last line, I think. Hold on. Oh yes, for some reason the very last line was not saved. Shall I type it again? I hate that. Okay. No. I'll delete this. That's an extra line. Right, and I press OK. And yes, update. Yeah, now all 4 are there. Right, so this is the same thing that we have done, right? Calling in Tiana recipient list open edit karani, so we can do the same thing with the newly created one, right? Okay, now I have my recipient list over here. If you want to edit it, you can use this. Now we are almost done. Now what we are going to do is we are going to set up the document that we want to use the mail merge, right? So now my scenario, my example, I'm using this address list to inform the parents about a parents meeting, right? So to do that, I have to prepare a letter. So they have given the chance or given the facility to add an address block. If you click on the address block, it will show you what are the things that you can use. So here it's pretty easy. They have created the name, the number, and the city already in this in the address block, right? And they are giving you different kinds of ways that you can use the address block, like if you can use the full name, or you can use a one particular name, right? If you got a lot of names, you can use it with the initials kind of things. So you can change it as you want, right? And if you don't want the recipient name, you can tick out this checkbox, so recipient name will not be shown. And if you want only the name but not the address, so you can take it out the postal address checkbox, so it won't appear. If you want both, you can use it like this, right? And you can have the address block over here. Can you see what happens over here? Now if I delete this, if I press on the address block, it will ask for the settings. Nothing is on my paper now. Now if I do the changes and press OK, address block is given. So something like this is given onto my page. So I press enter. Then I need a greeting line. You know what is the greeting line is, right? So how we greet them, like dear, or like in the way that we are going to greet. And it says dear, like the way, like if you want to put a particular the entire name, if you want, choose that. I'm going to choose just one particular name over here, so I'll take it like this, right? So dear Saman will be there as the greeting line, right? So now this particular one defines, like if there is an empty line, there will be a letter will be creating for that empty line as well. So we don't have any name inside that empty line, so it just say dear sir or madam, right? So otherwise, for the places where we got the details, they say dear and the first name only, as according to my settings. Now if I want both the names, I can choose where it shows the both names, right? So I take just one particular thing, and they have put the greeting dear and the first name and a comma, you can see, right? So I can press OK. So greeting line is there, right? And then I'm going to type the letter that I want, right? So I say regarding a parents meeting, right? I'm going to increase the size of the font here. I'm going to bold this and underline it. I'm doing this from the keyboard shortcuts and center aligned. And coming down, I'm taking away the boldness, underline, and the I'm taking this as left align. So I'm going to type the content. This is to inform the term end parents meeting of the child, right? So of the child, after the child, I need the student name, which was there in my list as S name. S name kira then. So I want to have the child name over here. So to do that, I can use this insert merge field. Once I click on it, I can see my columns: first name, last name, address line 1, city, S name. So I need the S name after the child word. So I just I move my mouse pointer over here and just double click on the S name. So S name will be appear here, right, of the child. Then I put a comma on 26th of June 2021. According to the present situation of the country, please carry this as traveling pass. Right, so then we say thank you. Right, so you got what I did? I insert the address block using this address block. I use the greeting line using this greeting line, and I use the S name from the insert merge field, and as well as you can use any kind of merge fields accordingly to your requirement. Right, so my letter is done. Is it clear up to this point, people? Yes, Ranuja, I'm going to show what happens now. Good that you have the curiosity. Yes, Dihan, 26th කියන එකේ TH කියන එක පුතා it is getting small by default. ඒක අපිට word එක කරලා දෙනවා, but if you want to do it, you can use this particular one, the superscript. මේ කියන tool එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් TH. ඒක word වල අපි 26th කියලා ගැහුවම එයා automatically superscript කරගන්නවා, but if you want to make it smaller, we can use this particular command. Right, is it clear, Dihan? Right, okay. Right, now the magic happens. Right, and now I'll recap the things what I have done. We choose the letter format, we select, and for this particular example we type the new list, and if you want we can edit it from here, and I choose the address block to the place I want, then I put the greeting line the place I want, then I type my letter, and I need child name over here, so I put it using the insert merge field, right, by double clicking that particular field on the place I want. Now magic happens when you click on this preview result. Look what happens. Here I'm going to click it. My God, what happens? Your address block is now replaced with the first address, and here it takes dear Saman, and here as the S name you have Matisha. Right, so that is the first record. You can move through the records from these buttons. If I click this, this is going to change for the second record. Nihal Vijayanayaka 45 Homagama, dear Nihal, and the child Nisha. And if I go forward, Lalini Gunasingha 56 Piliyandala, dear Lalini, and child name is Dihan. Fourth one, Sita Saparamadu 67 Kasbava, dear Sita, and child name is Misha. In my list, only 4 recipients are there, so all 4 recipients are here. I can move here and there, and these 2 buttons are there to like quickly move to the last one and quickly move to the first one. Okay, did you got what we have done? It's nice, right? We can like, it's like we are like typeset 4 documents with the time of a one particular document. Right, now think about when you need to produce hundreds of documents. It is just this, right? When you have the recipient list, it's just a one particular letter's time that matters, right? Then you just move it, right? So now that's the preview. Now how we are going to use this, right? So to use it, we can use this finish and merge button. Right, so when I press this finish and merge, it gives me several different options. First one is edit individual documents. Now, when I click on this, you can see there is a new Word document is opening with all 4 letters right now. Now, in this document, I got only one page, There is no more. Now I'm going to click on this and say edit individual documents. So then it is asking, what are the things that you need to edit? All the documents or the current record, or like from what to what? If you say all documents, all 4 letters will be created. And if you say current document, only this particular letter will be created. And from to will define you like when there are like, let's say 100 letters, if you want to edit from the 10th letter to 20th, then you can say 10 over here and 20 over here. Then it will generate the letters from 10th and up to 20th. Right? So in my case, I'm going to choose all. Now I'm going to press OK, see what's happening. Here it goes. Now this is my output. This is my merge. These are 2 separate documents. Right? Now look at this, people. This is fascinating. I'm getting full-size document for all 4 recipients over here. This is Samantila Karatna, this is Nihal Vijayanayaka, and this is Lalani Gunasinghe, and this is Sita Sapramadu. Right? So it's just a matter of one particular letter's time, as I told you again. Right? Now, when you are having this, you can print this out, or you can save this as a PDF document, or you can do whatever the thing you want. And again, if you want to put a remark for a particular document, you can do that as well. Right? Then අපි merge එකේදී remark එකක් දැම්ම නම් මේ letters ඔක්කොටම add වෙනවා. අපිට ඕනනම් Nisha කියන student ගැන remark එකක් දාන්න, you can press enter and write whatever you want. Then a special notation එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන්. Right? So it only affects on this document, not in here. Not any other document is affected by that. Right? So you can print it as we talk, like go to the file, go to the print, and you can see the printing documents. So you can give print all and just click on this. Printer will do the rest. Right? So that is the way that you are going to generate the separate document of the merge. එතකොට අපි ලියුම් 100ක් merge කරා නම් pages 100කට ඔය ලියුම් 100 එනවා වෙනම document එක. Right? So you can print it out. Right? And I'm going to close this. I'm not going to save this. And there is another option with the mail merge, which is called print documents. කලින් එකේ individual documents ඉල්ලපු නිසා වෙනම හදලා දුන්නා. But here I can straight away print the things. Yes, Dihan automatically display වෙනවා. මොකද අපේ list එකේ නම් 100 දාලා තියෙන නිසා එයා automatically නම් 100 දාලා තමයි අර letter 100 හදාගන්නේ. අපිට මුකුත් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. Right? So if I choose the second option, print documents, you won't be getting any new type of document with 100 pages. This will ask, shall I send all these 100 letters to the printer and ask it to print out? If I say all and press OK, so this particular Word document, which is done the mail merge, right? May api merge එක කරපු document එකේ අපි ඉන්නේ. So it will send the details to the printer as the separate documents. මෙතන එකක් තිබුණට මේ all කියලා දුන්නම දැන් මෙතන 4 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවනේ. මගේ printer එකෙන් print outs 4ක් එනවා 4 දෙනාට අදාළව. Right? So likewise, if you got 100 pages, if you say all and press OK, so your printer will start printing. Right? So you don't need to generate those things. If you don't have any special thing to do with a particular document, you don't need to generate the separate document. You can straight away say print all the documents. So it will get print all 4 documents according to this example. And if you got 100 or if you got 1000, it doesn't matter what is the limit is. If your printer got ink, it will print it out, right? So that is the way that you can deal up with the mail merging and send in email messages. I'm not going to go for that. Just search it and see people. ඔගලන්ගේ දැන් syllabus එකේ මේ තරම් දේවල් කතා කරන්න කියලා නෑ, but I told you it's good to your future නේද? ඔගලන්ට වැඩ කරන්න යනකොට කොහේ හරි වැඩක් කරන්න කිව්වොත් මේක දැනගෙන ඉන්න එක වටිනවා. Right? Okay, people, is it clear? Right? Is it clear, people? Can I have the confirmation? So our mail merge is done and the lesson is done as well. Right? Okay, great. So since I have done the recording, you can watch the recording again and again. And Dihan, yes, I'll show you how to go to the recordings, Buddha, right? So just wait once I'm done with the session, right? And the people who, if there are people who have came newly today, so just stay, I'll show you how to refer the recordings. And people, you got a homework, right? So the homework, the practical is this, right? So you have to do the practical in your textbook, the very last exercise that they are asking you to do, which is, oh my God, I passed that. Yeah, which is this. The activity which is on the page number 187, right? You have to do that and send it to me, right? Right, I'll send a screenshot of this to your WhatsApp group as well, right? And if anyone who has not joined with the WhatsApp group, I'm sending you the yes, Rusira, it is. I'm sending the my mobile number over here. If anyone does not join to the WhatsApp group yet, just send me a WhatsApp message, so I'll send you the link. Right, so it is right. This is my mobile, so I'm in WhatsApp in the same number, right? So send me the particular message, so I'll send you the link. And this is the letter in the activity, and this is the data set or the particular database that you need to create when you are doing the practical, right? So what is the thing that you need to send me? You have to send me 2 documents. The first document is the document which shows you where you have create this merge. You can preview එක අරගන්නේ නැතුව මේ document එක මෙහෙම save කරලා you have to send it to me. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ practical එකට අදාළව, right? So that means this particular document should be done using the mail merge and send me the major document. Then, like when you are finishing the document, you know how to take individual documents. So you take that individual document output, then you save it as a different file and send that to me as well. So our email එකට attachments දෙකක් එනවා, right? එකක් ඔයා මේ ඔයාගේ merge එක හදපු master document එක, which is this. And once you click on this edit documents individually and give all and press OK, it will give you this separate document. So you have to send me this particular document as well, right? ඒක තව නමකින් ඔයාලට save කරගන්න පුළුවන්. මෙයාව එක නමකින් save කරගන්න පුළුවන්. Save කරගෙන මේ documents දෙකම මට email කරන්න ඕනේ, right? And you know to which email that you need to send, and I'll send another reminder as well, right? So oh Dihan, පුතා ඔයා group එකට add වෙන්න, මම ඒකට details එවනවා, right? ඔයා practical එක කරලා email කරන්න තමයි පුතා ඕමනා වෙන්නේ, right? So people, that's the first homework, right? The practical. And the second homework is that you need, there is a small table regarding the shortcuts at the next page. You have to copy that to your book, say in shortcut keys, and then this particular table, the entire table, right? Which will sum up the sixth lesson, right? So by next week, we are going to start the third lesson, which is the number system, right? Which is a maths related unit. Yeah, Ranuja, like the two documents that I was talking about, the master document of the mail merge or mail merge එක කරන එක, then after, like, once you finish the mail merge as to get edit in, like, have the individual documents, so you will be having a separate Word document like this. So you have to save the left hand document in a one name and the right hand document in another name and send those two documents to me. Clear, Anuja?
Yes, sir.
Right, great. So then you have to copy this, right? Shortcut keys to your book. Then we are going to start our new lesson by next week, right? Okay, so people, thank you very much for today, right? Thanks for staying, and please do the practicals and send it to me. And people who have the questions can stay and ask the questions, and people who don't have the questions, you can leave, right? Thank you very much. Have a good night, right? Okay, so it's time to have the questions.